create an ad now, and I can even use that custom conversion if we want to, though that's a little bit more advanced from an ad standpoint. But I come back to Ads Manager, big green button, hit create. Remember we looked through the campaign level, like the 3 different levels. There was campaign, ad set, and the ad. Look, it already knew I was creating an ad, but I'm going to say, nope, start over. So right away, it's going to say choose your objective. And I'm going to scroll down. I'm not creating an ad in a special category, like certainly not politics. And then you can pick your objective. Is it brand awareness, reach? For the most part, I use traffic and conversions. You can do reach. If you were doing like more of a brand awareness, just letting people know, you would do reach or brand awareness, but I would probably do reach. I'm usually doing traffic or conversions. Because of that custom conversion I'm going to pick conversions. And then it's going to ask me to name it. So PDF conversion. You can do A/B tests. I won't get into that, but essentially you can say test different audiences or placements. It's just a way to split test. I've done that a number of times. It adds to the complexity, but not all that much. I mean, basically you just have to create different audiences or different placements, whatever you want to do. I talked about campaign budget optimization. I do think that is a good thing. So generally speaking, I would turn that on, meaning you're going to manage the budget at the campaign level instead of the ad set level. So like if I said this budget was $10 a day, I usually don't change bid strategy. Because of like if I want to schedule and only run the ads Monday through Friday, then like it says here, you can only do that with lifetime budgets. So I'd have to come back here and say lifetime. Then you could say, run it Monday to Friday, 9 to 5. I rarely do that. I think that is helpful, but is, not necessary. So I just left the campaign level. On the left here, you can see we were in the campaign level. Those boxes are checked. Now I'm in the ad set level. They default to calling ad sets US 18+. I don't think it matters, but I don't love that, so I never do that. I usually call it whatever I called it in the beginning, and then I put ad set on the end. And maybe that doesn't even matter, but I like to do that. Usually the destination is your website, probably not your church app, probably not Messenger, though you could totally do that, or WhatsApp. By default, because I picked conversions, it is pulling my recent conversion, including that downloaded small group PDF, right? Over here, it would try to tell the audience. It's going to be wrong though because of the conversion thing so far, and I haven't even specified the audience yet. So that's why it's basically 230 million people, in the US. So that'll change as we update some of the other things. So I don't cost control. I don't usually mess with that. Conversion window, you could change that, but it's basically what that means is after they click the ad, how long do you think it would take before they did what you wanted, downloaded that PDF or whatever. The default is 7 days. You can do 1 day. It's not a huge deal. Dynamic creative is, again, newer in the last couple years to Facebook. What it means is people used to upload multiple pictures and even different formats. And they would create one ad set for when it was mobile, and this one on a desktop, and this one in story. Well, Facebook is smart and will help you modify in a way what your images and videos look like to fit those different platforms, and you don't have to do it. If you turn on dynamic creative, which I generally do like to turn on dynamic creative, it will take whatever you upload and try to adapt it to the different settings. So I do like to use dynamic creative when I can. Sometimes the ads look a little weird though. You can tell, for instance, if it was made for a phone and it was like a box and then it shows up on stories, they crop it in a certain way and it's just kind of, not super professional, but it's still, hey, they still work. They still work. So audience, this is a big one. This is where you're saying who's it going to go to. So right now, location, United States, that is way too broad, right? So I will, let me see, this just shows you how long it's been since I've done this. So I pop in a zip code around my church, it jumps in there, and see, right now it's just looking at that zip code. But I could clear that, see the little X, I'm going to clear it, and I could drop a pin. See this thing down here that says drop a pin? I'm going to clear the 21236. So now it's a blank map, but my church is right in here. It's right about here. So I'm going to click drop a pin, and it'll drop a pin and defaults to 10 miles. And you could change it to 1 mile, 5 miles, whatever you want to do. You pretty much want to have a mile radius on any of your ads unless you're running something that's just online and you're cool with people seeing it, anywhere in the country. And look, people living in or recently in this location. You might even just want living in, right? You don't really want to run your ads to somebody who visited family and is now home in Florida or whatever. Age, again, you could change it. Do you want 18 to 65? Do you want to start at 22? You can do whatever you want there. If you have custom audiences, you click here, they show up. So there's that website visitors. There is the lookalike audience off the website visitors. And this is under all. So if I click on custom, it's got the website visitors there. I deleted the one, remember that was me and my wife that uploaded, so you're not going to see that. But there's other things we have uploaded in the past. There's lookalike audiences we have created off of them. And you can pick multiple ones. So I can say, give me the website visitors, give me, give me the outdoor invite ad, give me a lookalike of people off our emails from 3 years ago. Don't do that. And they all get included up here, and it starts changing the math on the audience size. Now, because we uploaded that custom list and all that, it can't really calculate the size, but that's okay. All right, so I took that one off. You can still see it can't calculate the size there. But again, that's normal. You can exclude people. So again, if you wanted to run ads, there's 2 ways to do this. If you want to run ads and let your people see it because they'll like it and share it, great. But you will be spending money on them seeing it. If you want to run ads to other people that are not a part of your church, and maybe you even email them a link and say, hey, like this and share it. That way you don't spend money on them seeing it. They just, get the link and they see it that way. You could use an audience and exclude the custom list you uploaded of people in your database. Okay, so all C3 Kids parents, we uploaded that. So that's not our whole database, but I can say exclude those people so I'm not spending ad money sending it to them. Does that make sense? If you've created an ad set or like an audience that you like here, you can come down here and click save and save it. And then you'd be able to use it in the future just by dropping it down from the menu and picking it. And you wouldn't have to modify that. Under show more details here, connections, again, sometimes I do use this, it just depends. You can say people who like your page, and then you can say the page and pick it. You can also exclude people who like your page. So now I think that is a feature that has moved now. Let's see. Yeah, okay, so I think it comes up here now in the exclude section up here. It used to be right down here you could pick exclude people who like your page. Okay, so here it is. It's going to exclude people who like that there. Or I can say, no, include the people who like that page. Does that make sense? It goes back to, do you want to include the people that are already, following and liking, or do you want to exclude them? Automatic placements. We talked placements earlier. You can do manual if you want. I don't do this a lot, but you can. Audience network is probably one of the least favorites. But you can go through it. You can get fine-tuned. You can say, not Facebook stories, only Instagram stories. Not the right column of Facebook. You know what I mean? And some of these things, I barely even know what they are. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't do a lot of these in article things. Again, that can be an ad if somebody's reading an article inside of Facebook. That's a placement. A lot of times you're fine just saying, nope, automatic. Facebook, you put it wherever you think it's going to work best. And guess what? Facebook knows more than you do. So if you want to exclude things, that's fine. But if you leave open to everything, they're going to do a good job usually with the budget. Schedule, run them continuously starting today, or set a start and end date. Do set an end date usually because, or if maybe the budget's really low, you just don't want to be spending money because you forgot about an ad that should have ended 2 weeks ago. So I'm a big fan of start and end dates. And then if I hit continue, so we went from campaign, checked all those boxes, to ad set, checked all those boxes. Now we're into the ad level. Again, I hate their names, so I will call that PDF ad, whatever name I called the campaign, and then I just put ad. It's going to confirm which page is running this ad, so that's correct. And then it wants to know which Instagram account is attached. And I don't know why it doesn't automatically detect that, but you can pick your Instagram account there. And then it's asking for the image. So if I click on this, I'm just going to use something we've already uploaded. Actually, I'm sorry. Here's where you just click single image or video. Because we're using dynamic creative, we don't have an option here. If we had not chosen dynamic creative, we would have been able to like upload different images and things like that. We're still going to be able to upload different images. The difference is Facebook is going to manage it through dynamic creative, like it says here. We're just going to upload them down here. So under where it says media, I'm actually not going to upload any. I'm just going to choose some things that are already in our media account that we've used before, just so you can get a sense of what it looks like. So corn maze picture, I'll take that, hit continue. And then, so it's got that picture in there. And again, it says up to 10. So I could do whatever other picture here. There's a picture that's more of a graphic. We'll use that. And then down here, optimize creative for each person. That's great to check. And remember how I said you can do multiple things. So like primary text, tell people what your ad is about. What they mean is, this is like the main thing people will see. So here you put the amazing text to compel people to click. And then headline, which is optional because you don't see it on every placement. I'm gonna say corn maze, whatever. Now, if you'll notice, as I'm typing stuff in, nothing's happening on the right. The reason is it'll show a preview there, but it will not show that preview until you give it a link. You tell it where it's going. Because Facebook wants to know where you're sending people before it'll show a preview. So if I put that in there, now you'll see it starts to populate a preview on the right, and it's going to use the image. It's going to use the text that I put here. See, here's the headline at the bottom. The main text is at the top. I can click add another option, and I can say, here is another version of the primary text. And then what that means is it will test both of these, as it sends ads to people, and just run with whichever one is best. Does that make sense? Description is optional. I believe it goes below. Yeah, see here it says description. If you don't include it, it will pull the text off of your website where you're sending it. See where it says welcome to C3 Kids Online Experience. So apparently I put that link in there. Yeah, I did. But if you want to say, get tickets now, you could do that. Now, it doesn't show up in every placement, which is why it says it's optional. And then at the very end, you pick, and again, I could do multiple headlines, multiple primary text, and then you pick call to action. And unfortunately, Facebook has a weird collection of them. So in Church World, sign up, learn more is about it. There's usually you'd love to have some more options in there for buttons, but you really don't. So that's why you see a ton of learn more on Facebook. You can do another option here, but again, you're still just pulling it from the same list of things. So you can do learn more, sign up, see which one converts better. And then it already knows it's going to use the CCC Pixel for tracking. And you don't need URL parameters. If you're doing that, you know more than I do. So that would be it. I would hit confirm, and it would launch this ad, which I'm not going to do because it's not a real ad. So there you go.